Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry for the delay today. It's a very, very busy day today. So hopefully we will be able to continue, and I will be able to finish the part that I want to go through with you, inshallah. I will see the problems with model after we finish, so please keep me up with all the problems that you may find. This is the course, about model. I will need to check Yasin. Please also keep reminding me about the problem with the model sheet, okay? In the previous sessions, we really did go through the types of matrices, the classification of them. I hope you all understand through that. Also, we did go through the operations and matrices about the addition, subtraction, the conditions. It's really very important. Okay, equality of matrices, multiplication. In the previous session, we did go through inversion, about the main steps, how to get an inverse for a matrix, and there is mainly a very important condition for getting an inverse for a matrix. It shouldn't be singular. Anyone to remind me what we mean about a singular matrix? What's a singular matrix? Huh? What the singular matrix? No, this is the square matrix. But the singular matrices are those types of matrices with the value of their determinants doesn't equal to zero. The equivalent determinant the value shouldn't equal to zero. And this is why, because one of the steps after you get the cofactor and you get the adjoint matrix, you divide all the elements on one over the value of the determinant. So this is really very important. This problem, I didn't get a chance after you finish. After you told us you will have to catch the bus in the previous lecture, we had to stop. I didn't go through this problem. This problem is really, very important, okay? Find the value of x, where b of x minus x equal a, given that you have a and b. How to go through it? This is a direct application on addition, subtraction, multiplication, and inversion. It has everything, almost all the properties that we talked previously. The first step is to try to isolate the unknown function or the unknown variable that exists in this problem. How to do it? Any suggestions? Yes, I will take a common factor, but please be aware that once you take a common factor, the multiplication in matrices is not commutative. So you should take care about where or which side are you going to take this factor from? See here? Oh, correct or okay? Okay. So it's b x minus x equal a. That's gonna lead to take x as a common. So it's gonna be b. Any ideas? Minus I times x, which is gonna equal to the A matrix. So I've taken this as a common factor. Any idea about the dimensions of all of these matrices? Those are not numbers, those are matrices. What's your name? Safe, yes, I saw you once, I believe so. Okay, so the dimension of V, what's the dimension of V? 2 by 2 dimension. How many rows, how many columns? For the matrix, for the V matrix, as you can see, we have 2 rows, 2 columns. So the matrix V is supposed to be 2 by 2. Okay, Noor, for I, the dimension of I, which is going to be? 2 by 2. And for matrix A, it's already given, so it's 2 by 2. So we are expecting that X also is going to be a 2 by 2. Okay? How to get x value? We will have to multiply both sides in the inverse of the new matrix. What's the new matrix? It's going to be, the new matrix is b minus I. So simply, the idea is to multiply both sides, okay, and b minus I, which is a new matrix, equal to -1 times b minus I times x, which is going to equal to b minus I to the power of -1 times a. Am I correct? صح? Second step. Shabab, do you remember if I have like 3x equals 6, if I want to solve this equation, how to solve this equation? How to solve this equation? You will divide both sides on 3. So, but actually, what you did is you multiply both sides by the inverse of 3, which is simply 1/3. This is what's happening behind the scene. Okay? So, once you multiply by the inverse of the value of 3, which is 3 to the power of -1, these two values will cancel each other. It's not canceling, but it's gonna be the identity for multiplication, which is simply gonna be 1 times x. And for the other side, it's gonna be 6/3. So you will end up having x equal to 2, which is the result. Those are numbers, so it's easier to go with them. Same steps are happening, but with matrices. So I will have B minus I, which is the matrix that I have taken the common from it. Okay? So you have B of x minus x. Once I move x, you will have B minus the identity of multiplication, which is I. This is the matrix that's multiplied by x, and it will equal to the other side A. I will have to move this matrix and divide on it, exactly like we moved the 3 to the other side. Okay? Here we don't do division, but we do multiplication in the inverse. So it's exactly like multiplying both sides, but I will have to multiply both of them, Ahmed, from the left. Because this matrix already exists in the left side. This is why I've decided to multiply both sides in B minus I to the power of -1, which is the inverse. معايا؟ بالظبط أنا بعمل كده زي 3 times 1/3. Okay, what are we going to see? We are going to see that these two matrices are going to cancel each other, and we will have the identity matrix. It's like canceling them together, and you have 1. The 1 will be times X matrix, and on the other side, you have 2 matrices multiplied in each other, which is B minus I to the power of -1 times A. Exactly like I did 1/3 times 6. It's exactly in a similar manner. So finally, I will have X equal to B minus I to the power of -1 times the A matrix. What's the required? What should we do at the time being? So we should get first B minus I. لازم اجيب الاول الماتريكس اللي هي B minus I. Then بعد ما اجيب الماتريكس, once you get the matrix B minus I, get the inverse of this matrix. Then perform the multiplication. معايا يا شباب؟ اوكي خلاص خلينا نعمل ده. امشي معايا بقى step by step. First of all, هات لي B minus I. Any ideas for getting B minus I? مالك؟ هاتي لي B minus I.
دكتور هو from where did we get الأي السؤال يعني
ده
assume إن هيبقى في
ما هو الايدنتي دي زي بالظبط لما انا يبقى عندي بصي 4 minus 2 of an x. اوكي او معلش عشان تبقى اوضح خلي دي 2 بالظبط زي اللي فوق. take 2 as a common. لما باخد 2 as a common ايه اللي بيحصل؟ هيبقى عندي 2 بعدين 1 minus مين؟ منين جه ال 1؟ لان ده الايدنتي بتاع المالتيبليكيشن.
أنا خدت الإكس common factor في الاثنين.
Yes, I've taken x from these two quantities as a common factor. Once you take it as a common factor from the B matrix, from the B times x, you will have just only B. But from the x, once you take x as a common, what's gonna be over there? The identity of multiplication, صح? Which is the I matrix. Okay? Then I will continue. Same steps, like numbers exactly. Okay. For the time being, I need to have B minus I. How to get B minus I? I need first to get the new matrix, which is B minus I. How to get it? شباب انتوا مش مركزين معايا. علي صح؟ شوف انا فاكر. يبقى إذا I will get B matrix, which is 3, 1, 1, 0. This is the B matrix.
Then I.
Then minus the matrix I, which is gonna be 1, 0, 0, and 1. Then the result will be, the result will be 3 minus 1 is gonna be 2. Okay? 1 minus 0 is gonna be 1. 1 minus 0 is gonna be 1. 0 minus 1 is gonna be negative 1. This is the matrix that I will have to get its inverse. الجميل. انت اسمك ايه؟ Hannah. Do you remember how to get the inverse for a 2 by 2 matrix? It's really very simple. And we already did go through it in the previous lecture. Do you remember? Okay, I know it's my fault that the lectures were a little bit delayed, but you have the main slides, so you should be able to go through them. Okay, now I have this matrix, which is B minus I. I need to get its inverse. The inverse for a 2 by 2 matrix is very, very simple. All I have to do is to get 1 over, multiply the numbers of the principal diagonal, which is gonna be 2 times negative 1 is gonna be minus 2. Then don't forget, we take a negative sign once we multiply the secondary diagonal. So it's gonna be minus 1. And this is gonna be times, which is really very simple. And Jose also had the advantage that he told us about, or he gave you the advantage to use the direct method since it's already exists in the slides. So all I have to do is to change these two numbers on the principal diagonal. So it's gonna be negative 1 and 2, and change the sign of the secondary diagonal. So it's gonna be negative 1. Then I will multiply by negative 1 over 3 all the numbers, because this is a scalar value, and you will multiply it by a whole matrix. So the result is, now for this function, or what I'm getting here, I'm getting the B minus I to the power of negative 1. This is the steps to get B minus I to the power of negative 1. So B minus I to the power of negative 1 will equal to negative 1 over 3 times all of these numbers. And so you will have 1 over 3, 1 over 3, 1 over 3, I believe, please check the signs with me, negative 2 over 3. Am I right? Or did something wrong?
Right.
Negative, negative, it's going to be positive. Negative 1 over 3 times negative positive. Same way like, okay, we are done. At the time being, Miss Hannah, احنا دلوقتي جبنا دي. You still will have to do the multiplication. يبقى إذا at the time being, all of this will lead to that x is gonna equal to 1 over 3, 1 over 3, 1 over 3, negative 2 over 3, and all of this will be times the matrix A, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. How to do multiplication in matrices? Should be able to do this. We will multiply the row, each row by the columns that exist in the other matrix. So simply, I will write it here. Okay, so simply, x is gonna equal to, let's start. Okay, 1 over 3 times 1, so it's gonna be 1 over 3. Then plus 1 over 3 times 3, which is gonna be 1. 1 plus 1 over 3 plus 1, so it's gonna be 4 over 3. Yep, this is the value for the first one. Hannah, can you do the same for the second element? I will multiply the whole row by the corresponding column. This is the first row. That's the second column. So I will multiply each element by its corresponding one. So 1 over 3 times 2, 2 over 3. Then plus 1 over 3 times 4, it's going to be 4 over 3. 2 over 3 plus 4 over 3, you will end up having 6 over 3, which is simply going to be 2 in a similar manner. Okay, please follow up with me. I may make a mistake. It's multiplication after all. 1 over 3 times 1, it's 1 over 3. Then, negative 2 over 3 times 3, you will have negative 2. So, I will have 1 over 3, I leave minus 2. Okay? The last one, I will take this row and I will multiply it by 2 and 4. So you will have 2 over 3 minus 8 over 3, so it's going to be minus 6 over 3. I believe you will end up having a negative 3. Please do check all the numbers once more. But as you can see, the steps are, first of all, you will have to isolate your unknown. The common mistake, Malak, the common mistake is you take an common, but you forget about the I matrix, which is very, very important. Okay, the second step, or the second remark, I want you to take care about, or to put it in your mind. Remark that I'm taking x from the right side. It's completely different if you write it on the opposite side. In numbers, it's not going to make a difference. But in matrices, they are not commutative. So you can't do that. So it's really very important to stick to the steps. Okay? Once more, it's all recorded, so we are in a very good shape. Okay, once more, this problem is really very simple. I hope your exam will be, most of the problems will be like this. With this problem, it's obvious. All you have to do is to go through it. Some algebra, you can use your calculator, or just refreshing your mind and reviewing these numbers. It's going to be really, very easy. Once you both in your mind or get used in making the steps with full steps. Okay, once more, okay, this is the matrix that we spoke about. The second step, I will take x from both sides, I will take x as a common, so I will end up having b minus I times x, which is going to equal to a. I will multiply both sides and the value of b minus a to the power of negative 1. So this is the matrix. This is mainly the B matrix, and this is minus I, which is the identity matrix. You will end up you will get the inverse, then you will multiply by 1, 2, 3, and 4.
How did we get the 1, 0, 0, 1?
This is from your mind. It's the unit matrix. Do you remember the unit matrix? It's a matrix, diagonal matrix, with all the elements on the principal diagonals are 1 and the rest of the elements are 0. The importance of the unit matrix is that it plays the role of an identity, of the multiplication identity. So instead of 1, like you take a common, you have...
Whenever we have I, we have
Yes, but remark, it depends on the general dimension. The matrix B is a 2 by 2. So I will choose I, the 2 by 2. If matrix A was 3 by 1, okay, 3 by 3. So the identity matrix will be 3 by 3, and so on. Then I will go through the steps of the inverse, as I told you previously. I will just replace these two numbers, changing the signs of the secondary diagonal, and then I will multiply by the value of the determinant. If you remember, in the previous session, I gave you how to get the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix, and how to get the inverse of a 3 by 3 matrix. And hopefully by the end of this week, you will be able to get the inverse of any matrix using the elementary operations. Okay? So hopefully by the end of this week, we will be able to do this. Okay, done. I got the inverse matrix. The rest is very, very simple. All I have to do is to do the multiplication, and I will get the result of this matrix. What I want you to keep watching for is the direction of multiplication, how we multiply from each side, and so on. تمام يا شباب؟ Okay. Then, for this problem, I didn't give you the matrices. You don't have the matrices by its explicit form. You don't have the matrices in explicit forms like the previous one. But I want you to get the value of x from this equation. Any suggestions? Yusuf, Ulma. تعال نحلها سوا. I want to get the value of x. So the value of x, it's inside something. I will move with the steps, the elementary steps. Okay, if I were you, and I would suggest to do this. Remember the first time that you were in which primary 1 or something, when you start to learn how to move something from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. And you are adding the negative values of this one. Okay, let's do it step by step. بص كده يا سيدي. I will write a minus 1. This is x. That's the transpose of these two matrices plus another matrix which is c, which is gonna equal to b. The plan is to get the value of x from inside all of this. How to do so? I will have to move c from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. I know I just can move it to negative c. I don't want you to do it this way. I would like you to do it step by step. Because after all, we are talking about matrices, not numbers. So what I'm gonna do is to make it a minus 1 times x transpose. I will add negative c on both sides in this equation. So I will have c, I will add negative c in order to cancel it. On the other side, I will have b minus c. So I have added negative c on both sides, which is correct. You have a balanced equation. Either you add something on both sides or take something from the both sides. It's going to remain the same. Okay, c, you have a positive value and a negative value for a matrix. So the result will be, Yusuf, the result will be the O matrix. What's the O matrix? The null matrix, which is a matrix from any dimension with all the elements in all the rows, all the columns equal to 0. Step after that. So it's gonna lead to then we will have a minus 1 times x. We will still having the transpose. On the other side, we will have b minus c. I need to break the transpose. So we already know from the properties of the transpose is a transpose of a transpose, you will regain the main matrix. Okay, I will do transpose for both sides. So what I'm going to do right now, I will write it once more, please. A minus 1x transpose, which equal to b minus c. I will take transposition for both sides. That's the way it should be done. So I will have a minus 1 times x, which is gonna equal to b minus c transpose. Then I need to get the value of x. I will multiply both sides. Careful, from which side are you going to multiply? I will multiply both sides to get rid of a minus 1. How to get rid of a minus 1? Just multiply it in a. But I will have to do, okay, the left side multiplication for both sides. So now I will multiply both sides by the matrix A. So it's going to be a times a minus 1x equal to a times b minus c transpose. These two matrices, once you multiply them together, they will become 1. What's the 1 between matrices? What's the value of 1 between matrices? I times x, which is equal to a b minus c transpose. The I, it's like multiplying anything in 1. So the step after that, you will have x, which is equal to a times b minus c to the power of transpose. Actually, when I give you something like this, what I'm wishing to test, the knowledge of addition and subtraction, the knowledge of the existence of an identity factor or the identity matrix. How you already told me, once you take the transpose for both sides, that you know about the property of transposing a matrix 2 times, it will regain to its original shape. All of this, or all these steps, it's going to show me how you will be able, or how can you manage something like this. I know, Omar, one of the questions that usually hit the student's mind, do I have to go through all of this? Please try to follow up with all the steps. Please do. What if I forget just to add negative C for both sides and I've written rapidly Nur, which is gonna be like this? It's okay, okay? It's okay for one if you missed one of them, okay? But I wanna see steps. I'm writing that thing or asking you about this problem in order to see some steps. I wanna see you writing these steps. Omar. انت عايز احل دي بالظبط. بص خلي بالك ان انا عندي حاجات كتير قوي عايز اقولها، فمعلش ساعات زي المره اللي فاتت احمد وارجوك ما تزعلش مني، بس انا في دماغي حاجات كتير قوي عايز اقولها لك. اوكي؟ حاجه زي دي بالنسبه لي سهله قوي، انا هوضحها لك يا عمر برضو المره الثانيه، بس ارجوك حاول لو في حاجه زي كده بعد ما اخلص بقول لي عليها، او اسالني وانا هقول لك دلوقتي ولا فين ولا بعد.
ممكن نعملها بعد الليكشر.
مفيش مشكله، لا انا هاخد الليبرتي ان اقولها دلوقتي برضو علشان ميبي لسه في كونفيوجن مع حد. بصوا يا شباب بالظبط زي ما يبقى عندي 1 over 2 times x. اوكي؟ خليني اكتب 1 over half of x plus 3 equal 5. معايا يا عمر؟ انا I want to get the value of x. عايز اجيب الفاليو of x. هعمل ايه؟ هي بالظبط زي النمبرز، بالظبط زي النمبرز. كل اللي انا هعمله دلوقتي اول حركه رايك اعمل ايه؟ افتي. هودي 3 to the other side صح؟ بس ما اقدرش اعمل taking the reciprocal for both sides or getting the inverse of both sides. اوكي؟ يبقى اذا I will move 3 from the left side to the right side. انا بموفت على طول، فانا على طول هروح كاتب الستيب اللي بعديها 5 ماينس كام؟ 3. كل اللي انا عايز ازوده اكسترا على السترابس على الستبس دي ان بليز خدني واحده واحده. اكتب لي بس هنا انت انك هتحط نيجاتيف 3. يو اكشولي ديد ذات. اللي انت عملته وبالفعل ده اللي حصل. If 3 minus 3, what they are going to do? They will cancel each other. And you will have the result of 5 minus 3. Just keep it exactly like what they did. The second step, أنا هنا عملت transposition. بس في الحالة بتاعتي اللي فوق أصبح دلوقتي عندي 1 over half times x which equal to 5 minus 3. In order to isolate, I will get the reciprocal or make the transpose for both sides similar to each other. I will take the reciprocal. Do the reciprocal for both sides. هيبقى عندك half of x which is gonna equal to 1 over 5 minus 3. Then I will multiply both sides in 2. In numbers, it's not going to make a difference. To multiply this side from half x times 2 or 2 times half x, it will make no difference. But in matrices, it will make a difference. So, I will have to multiply both sides in 2. This is what I did. Half of x equal 2, 5 minus 3, which is going to lead to 2, and 1 over 2, they will cancel each other, and you will have 1. But usually we don't write 1 in numbers. Okay, so it's going to be x equal to the numbers on the other side. I'm trying to do the same exactly but with matrices. ساعات الواحد لما يسمع ده هنا يسأل نفسه سؤال. هو أنا عملت الماتريسيز الأول ولا عملت النمبرز الأول؟ احنا طبعا عاملين النمبرز الأول. طيب إن سألتيني أفتكر مش اللاست ليكتشر، الليكتشر اللي قبلها بتهيألي. تيجي أنا طب وإحنا ليه بنعمل مش عارف ليه ولا سبب؟ هو احنا ليه بنعمل كده؟ النهارده انا هحاول اجاوبك ليه بنعمل كده؟ ليه البروبابيلتيز بتاعت الماتريسيز بالشكل ده؟ يعني مين اللي قاعد فتى الفاتيه ان يبقى عندي 2 ماتريسيز انا هضرب الرو في القلم. طب ليه ما اضربش القلم في الرو؟ طب اشمعنى كده؟ ليه ما اضربش القلم في قلم؟ رو في رو ليه؟ يعني غتاته يعني؟ اشمعنى يعني ده عدل؟ يعني بغض النظر عن ظلم الانسان الاخير انسان فاهم والخلل يعني. ايه اللي يخليني اضرب رو هتفهم ده النهارده. المهم any remarks؟ اوكي واضحه؟ Please try to do it by yourself. البروبلم دي موجوده عندك موجوده في السلايدز. If I were in your shoe على طول هروح جايب ورقه واروح ماسك القلم بتاعي وهروح احاول اكتب الستبس دي وابص عليها مره واثنين. طبعا دي مش البروبلم دي it's not of my own. This is exactly from the book from the main slides from Lisbon. So it's exactly the same, C minus C, as I told you. You will have the null matrix. You will end up having A minus 1 x t, B minus C. The second step is to make a transposition for both sides, exactly as I told you. C is going to be A minus 1 x, which is then equal to B minus C to the power of t. Transpose, sorry. A minus 1, once you multiply by A the both sides, you understand now the inversion. So they will cancel each other, you will have an I matrix. The other side will give you the result, whatever the result is. What I can add on such a problem is to give you what's A, B, and C in explicit form. So this one could be for any four numbers, the B similarly like, the C similarly like, and you will have to go through all of this by the end of this part. The luxury in writing this problem in this way, okay, is that I didn't have to deal with matrices on their explicit form in this steps. Once I got the last formula, I'm going to replace A by its value. Getting B minus C first, then I will do the transpose. Then the other step, I will multiply them in each other. Okay, done. أتمنى أكون نجحت إن أنا أوصلك الفكرة. هرجع تاني على some theories اللي هي بتساعد احنا عدينا عليها المرة اللي فاتت و it makes sense in most cases بس remarks بتاعتها really very important especially لو انت جالك MCQ question or right or wrong or choose the right answer or something like this. We have A power m times A power n which is gonna lead to EA to the power of m plus n. Also, if I have A to the power of m and it is to the power of n, you will have, you can multiply these two powers. So it's going to be A to the power of m times n. Remark, which is really very nice remark. If I have A to the power, if I have AB to the power of n, I can't distribute the power. I can't distribute the power on both of them. So I don't have A to the power of n times B of n power of n. Like numbers. مش انت عندك في النمبرز لو انت بتتكلم على real numbers او scalars او whatever. If I have C times D and both of them are scalars and to the same power, you can distribute the power on both of them. صح؟ بس هنا لا. ليه هنا لا؟ لأن طبعا multiplication still multiplication in matrices it's not commutative on the majority of matrices. It may happen that you find a matrix. Once you multiply A times B, it's going to equal to B times A. But this is a very rare and special case. لكن in general, it's not commutative. يبقى إذا خلي بالك من النقطة. أوكي. خلاص دي واضحة؟ دي واضحة؟ واضحة الكل.
How do you solve this?
Okay, what?
Then how is this solved? It's not equal to that.
They are not equal to each other. They are not equal to each other. You can't distribute the power on both of them. Get first the multiplication of these two matrices, then do the power. But you can't get this matrix by on its own to its power times the other matrix to its relative power. You understand what I'm saying? You will have to get the multiplication first and then raise the power. Okay? شباب انتوا فهمتوا السؤال اللي سألته نور؟ الكل الناس اللي ورا علي انت فهمت يا قالت ايه؟ فهمت واضحه يعني مين اللي ما فهمش؟ زياد زياد هي بتقول طب هي دي لو جات لي انا احلها ازاي؟ خلي بالك هو ده ستيتمنت بيشرح لك how to navigate through this multiplication process. I can if this was equal لو كان الكلام ده مظبوط صح يعني كان يبقى انا لو جالي two matrices بعمل لهم times وارفع على باور it's actually up to you. I either to get their multiplication first, so multiply them first, then use the power, or get the first one to the power, and you will get a new matrix. The other one with the power, you will get another matrix. Multiply the results in each other. Supposed to equal to each other. No, they are not going to equal to each other. ليه؟ لأن multiplication in matrices is not commutative. ما ينفعش تقلبهم. كده أنا فهمت؟ طيب لو جات لي problem زي دي عايز يجيب لي A times B to the power of 2 ومديني ال A ومديني ال B كده I will have to get the multiplication first then I will do the power. هنا فاهمين؟ شور؟ اوكي. طول ما احنا مع بعض لو في اي حاجه ارجوك اسالني على طول. اتفضل.
هو الباور do we if there is a power في الماتريكس do we
Multiply it,
every
yes,
element?
by itself. Yeah.
Every single element alone. Every single element alone.
لا. Using the multiplication of matrices. So if I have a matrix, okay. If I give you A like this, okay, and the B like that, I want you to evaluate A, B to the power of 2. What are you going to do?
A times B first.
I will have to get first A times B. So I will get a new matrix which is A times B. That's AB. In this matrix, I will multiply a malak, the first row by the first column. So it's gonna be 12 plus 3, which is gonna be 15. Do it once more. 2 times 0 is 0. 3 times negative 1, so it's negative 3. In another manner, try to multiply the second row by the first column. So it's gonna be negative 6, and that's it. Then I will have 0, I leave in the fourth element. حضراتكم معايا؟ زيادة. أنا بضرب رو ولا أي حاجة. أنا بضرب الرو في القاع. فبضرب 2 times 6 which is
ازاي بقى بقت 15؟
أنا لسه مش خلصت. هو أنت كده ضربت الرو كله ولا ضربت حتة منه؟ طيب اضربه كله. يبقى أنا بضرب 2 بص دي وشكرا للسؤال. بضرب الرو كله في الكولوم كله. فبضربه ازاي؟ First times first, second times second, third if exists times third if exists. وadd them together. يلا يا جميل. 2 times 6 is gonna be in your mind. Then plus 3 times 1 is gonna be 3. 12 plus 3 you will end up having repeatedly.